Here.
Okay, I saw him there. Stephen Long,
Here.
Sarah Medeiros.
Here.
Okay, Shirley Ogata
Here.
is
What is
okay. Susie Sober,
Excused.
excuse, thank you. Marilyn Seeley, excuse. Barbara Service, excuse. Gary Simon,
Here.
thank you. Lisa Spencer, not
Okay.
there.
No, I think she'll be joining us later.
Okay, Rick Tabor,
Here.
Charlene Taketa, excuse. Leslie Tanoy,
Here.
I saw her there, right?
Yes, she's
Raylene
here.
Kennel, is Raylene there?
No, no,
I guess not. Okay,
no, she's not.
let's see. We have 9 members and we have a quorum.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, and here we're going on. Okay, first things is that the
Hello?
minutes. Hi, yes, Josephine.
Oh,
Thank you.
cannot hear.
Oh, you cannot hear? Can you hear us?
Can the others hear us?
Rick, Gary, can you folks hear us? Okay, Louise is shaking her head, yes. So.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, Josephine, can you hear us now? Josephine? Let's see, Tony, you want to check with Justin, because Josephine cannot hear us. Okay, thank you. Nobody's sitting there, Derek, thank you. Okay, going on to the minutes, the draft of June 6th is mailed to you. Can we have a motion to accept, please? Oh, no, we
Can I
need,
motion to make a correction?
okay, we gotta make the motion, but it's up for discussion, then you can make your motion then, okay? Okay, Stephen moves, second by,
I'll second.
okay, Rick, okay, discussion. Okay, Leslie?
I thought there were guests in the room that day who are on this,
Yes, there were,
also on.
wait, there were guests present. Timmy Gabbard, student of US Aging, Charlene, who's missing? Percy?
Yeah, Percy,
Yep,
yeah.
no, Percy's here, his name is there.
But he didn't come with that other man that.
Wayne something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the other person, what is his name?
Wayne.
Wayne,
It's not him, it was the time before.
yeah, I believe, yeah, Wayne was, or what, yes or no? I cannot remember.
don't think so.
I think only Percy maybe,
Oh,
Random.
Percy the last one.
I think so, okay?
And the only other thing is, in regards to the election for fiscal year 20.
What page? Oh, election,
Page 4,
okay,
on the, like, third line to the bottom.
Okay.
Should be Rick Tabor.
oh yeah, sorry, Josephine. On the third line from the bottom, where SCR 1437, SD1. Okay, right above there should be Rick Tabor, instead of table. You have a new name.
And
Okay,
I can't second because I wasn't there.
okay, so, it is in, can we just say that it's going to be moved and, seconded as amended? Okay, so, because it's being amended, now Leslie is moving it. Shelley is seconded because has amended, because we're making that correction there. Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, any other discussion from anybody on Zoom? Okay, seeing
No.
none, hearing, thank you. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
I.
Thank you. You have adopted the minutes of June 6th as amended. Okay, going on, Executive Director's Report, which he did email to us,
Yes, it was part of the packet.
correct?
Yes, I think when we were doing the agenda, we hadn't heard yet on the bill. Sorry, I can't call it the big beautiful bill, but the bill. It was signed into law on July 4th. They amended the Senate version, and I think that's the bill that, has passed. I have a link there to the bill in my minutes. And there are a lot of various, easy to understand documents that are, being provided by different, organizations. So if anyone, needs, I have one that was sent to me, and I can't remember the organization that did it, but it kind of broke it down into what are some of those, requirements as far as, the Medicaid, I think the able savings for the developmentally disabled population, things like that. I do have a version that I'd be happy to share. Again, it is a big bill, so there's a lot of, nuances in there. We were just discussing it in, our separate meeting I was having with the execs just now. Some good news is there was a bill signing ceremony last week, July 3rd. We had asked for the various bills that the Kahuna Caucus was supporting, as well as, and that included our Medi bill. The two bills that they decided to have an actual signing ceremony for, though, was Senate Bill 1252 and House Bill 703. House Bill 703 extended the Kupuna Rent Supplement Program till 2028. And knowing how important housing is well, for all of us, including our governor, I can see why that was one. And then Senate Bill 1252 was related to the education and training around Alzheimer's disease and dementia at the School of Medicine at the University of Hawaii. And it's going to support the workforce development and improve care for individuals affected by cognitive conditions. So that's going to be a fun one to watch, how that unrolls and is implemented. Work. Okay, we're still recording? Okay, we're good. Okay, so, he did sign earlier that day, Lonnie mentioned it in training today, House Bill 705, which is now Act 287, I believe, 278. 287, I believe. And that is for the Medi bill.
287.
Thank you. Thanks, Christina, 287. And so, now the work begins on the implementation of that, and excited things, a lot of good things are gonna come from that. And then, we are moving forward. I know, and I want to thank all of our execs and Mayor, Almeida, who's going to actually be part of our Aging Network Awareness Campaign with Spectrum. So I think you're taping on Monday. Emily's Thursday, you guys are Wednesday, okay, so that leaves Rowena on Tuesday, so. I'm really excited to see what you all produce. I think it's gonna be great. We really are trying to. At the time when we thought of this awareness campaign, it was because we thought that our funding for Older Americans Act would possibly be reduced by at least 22%. I think that's what the original word we were getting, but now we're really trying to pivot to, okay, if Title III Older Americans Act, those funding stay leveled funding, what happens to these individuals now that are pivoting, that are going to possibly between the ages of 60 and 64 that may be kicked off of Medicaid, the SNAP program, these safety net programs that are being provided through DHS, and how do those intersect? We know that those calls are gonna go to our area agencies on aging. So now it's like, what do we do about that sector of that population? We need to identify what that population is. He's doing his strategy things here, but what is that population? How many people are we talking about? How many people are being affected? Maybe working closely with DHS to is there another way we could support? Because we know that those calls are gonna start coming to the area agencies, so we need to be prepared for that. And so we're strategizing and we're gonna have more, and they're gonna go to a Riverman conference shortly, and so hopefully there will be some discussions around that, like how does the Aging Network support these gaps now that are gonna be created by this new big beautiful bill. That's a lot. That's a lot. So again, we're gonna be, I think, working together. We're gonna try to figure out how can we, so, we need to figure out first, again, what is that group? What is that population? What is that size? What are they using? And then take it from there.
I'm sorry, quick question.
Yeah.
When you say we, you're talking about the EOA?
Well, Executive Office on Aging with the area agencies on aging, because we know that we want to be prepared when those calls start coming in is, you know, is there a need for us to look for either, or is there a way to repurpose some of our funds to support this group? And then there's laws and rules and regulations with that, or is it a special ask?
Because when you look at both largely impacted programs, right, SNAP and Medicaid, right?
Right.
Fundamentally understand what they do, right? On the SNAP side, it's nutrition.
Right.
Right? On the Medicaid side, it's LTSS, Home and Community-Based Services, right? Do we as a network, whether it be our federal funds, our state funds, right? What program services that we directly or personally touch both aspects?
Yeah.
Right? So then it becomes a policy research at this point first, which is really fundamentally understanding the policy and the eligibility provisions, whether it be the workforce provisions, right? Because they extended the age to what, 64 years of age now. And part of that then also increased the age. One of the exemptions was the caregiver exemption. They increased the age for the dependent to 14 years of age. Okay, so what if you are a grandparent raising a grandchildren and your grandchild is 14 to 18, but you are able-bodied? Then you have to work 80 hours a month, combination of either employment and or volunteer service, right? Or else you lose what, your nutrition, SNAP, and or Medicaid, right? So then do the policy research first, then what the policy is. And then you do the analysis on existing programs and services to segment what that population looks like. Then you back that into possibly what areas that we support, right? Nutrition, congregate meal sites, home delivered meals, what home and community basis services do we provide? And then there's no amount of funding that would likely allow us to absorb the potential negative impacts of the Medicaid and SNAP. But do we have an opportunity to at least fractionally mitigate some of those people? But that's the work we gotta do on the research of
So it's
the.
more, we're gonna be researching first.
And-
Who decides the policy?
What is that?
Who decides the policy as to which or what?
Well, the policy, they already determined in the big beautiful bill on eligibility of these programs already. Yeah.
And this
Those were
takes-
generalizations.
It doesn't take place though until
Yeah.
a couple of
Yeah, but
years,
that's part of-
right?
That's part of the policy research, so
Yeah.
At a high level, I think I understand, there's some shifting timelines. The basic timeline is aggressive, right? I hear timelines like 26 and 27, but I also thought I came across language that allows for those timelines to be pushed back to 28 if states showed good faith
Faith effort.
effort in moving towards the implementation. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and,
I don't think anybody knows what
Yeah.
that
And-
means, right?
and which states are gonna be considered good faith effort, and if you're not one of those states, yeah. Even if you're trying, are you gonna be considered good faith effort? I don't know, it's. Yeah.
Christina? Christina?
Um,
have your
I'm
hand
just wondering, I'm just wondering if this is also something, and maybe it's down the line, as the bill is kind of implemented and the specific requirements or eligibility gets kind of hashed out. But is it something that, to have conversations with the legal assistance provider, our legal assistance provider, as people lose benefits or their eligibility is redetermined, quote unquote, right? And that they don't meet these requirements, but maybe they do. It's a conversation to have with the legal assistance provider so that they're kind of aware, how can they assist? And is there going to be an influx of calls for help?
Yeah.
So I think sorry, but I'm so, yeah, energized on this. You're looking at two different groups, like a concentric circles, right? Is the first concentric circle of the populations that we know will be impacted, those folks that are no longer eligible. That's the first concentric circle. The other concentric circle,
And that one is the expanded one, right?
you get expanded, yeah, that too,
Yeah.
that on top of that. too.
Oh, on top of.
Yeah, so then you have the folks that are eligible, even under this bill, but you're throwing so many bureaucratic requirements on recertification, re-eligibility.
Every 6 months, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
documentation, that even eligible individuals, there's too many barriers to enroll. I think there was one study where I think it might have been Georgia, that they implemented on their own workforce requirements. And I think it was saying that out of like 200 something thousand, I'm gonna butcher the number, but
Yeah.
basically the eligible populations in relation to those folks that actually signed on was a lot smaller because of those bureaucratic loopholes and documentation and all of that, yeah.
Can I add though to what you were sharing? There was one thing that came out of this when we were talking this in my office just now is if these people are required to do 80 hours of work or volunteer work, is there a way that we could, if we know who these individuals are, can we filter them to our providers who are having provider capacity issues to either volunteer or give part-time work, helping to increase our capacity to serve more? So that, yeah, Meals on Wheels, yes, Rick, that was one of the ones we were thinking of, so I mean, a little silver lining, but I mean, that coordination is gonna be so, because we're not DHS, right? So it's like, so there's gonna be to answer your question, a lot of research that needs to be done first, because we're not sure what that looks like.
Correct.
And that's where we're gonna be headed next and trying to, we'll be reporting back on what that looks like.
Is there more work at the Fed level they need to do to roll things out? I know they voted for this,
Well,
but
you
do they
know,
have to work out all the facts and everything? I mean, there's a lot.
And there's so much, Rick,
lot
I
of
wish I
loose
could
ends.
even answer it.
No, I know, but-
Try to answer something like that.
But is that what they're going to be doing like the next year, just working out fine tuning stuff? Will things change?
Yeah, I actually pulled myself out.
Because everything in this administration changes.
Daily.
Yeah.
It's, unfortunately, and I think they've done a lot with the scaling back, right, of
Yeah.
federal government. They've lost a lot of that institutional knowledge, right? So they have a lot of new individuals, I think,
Yeah.
at various levels, and we're getting questions. And then there's more that we have to actually, even when we put in our requests for payments, that we have to justify why we're asking for those monies and stuff. So, I mean, there's just a lot of new requirements. It remains to be
Yeah,
seen.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought so.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
any-
but my mantra, I said this at the training, is we'll continue to do our good work, continue to trudge along. I think we have to have our eyes, especially on this bigger picture that is working on right now, because he's energized. So I think there's a lot more to come, and I think this is a good topic to be engaged in.
Absolutely.
It will have an overall impact on the whole
Need
community.
anything else about these two?
Which one was that?
We talked about this one.
Talked about that one, we did, hear that, there was a decision to, preemptively, I guess I could say it, stop the, sunset the senior companion program and the foster grandparent program, so, Derek's taken it upon himself to provide some information, kind of like a fair for some of these volunteers that, are gonna now lose the benefits that they were receiving from these programs and provide them with information out of.
Yeah, so with senior companion and foster grandparent program, federally funded. Part of the uniqueness of that program was non-taxable stipends, right? It was a small amount. But the good thing is even with that small amount, it didn't count against them for other government benefits, right? That again, Medicaid, SNAP, et cetera. So largely they would use it for everyday living costs, right? So now that that program is shutting, you have maybe 100 combined foster grandparent senior companion program that no longer are having the stipend. So what we've asked DHS to do is survey their volunteers to see what potential needs they might have and or programs they need help access to. Then maybe we can do our best to kind of connect them with some of those programs and services. So mitigating any impact to them, right? But the same thing for our SNAP and Medicaid populations. The sad thing is that there's no amount of resource that will allow us to cover all the gaps in their services. But I think if we have an opportunity to at least mitigate part of that negative impact, I feel that we have some responsibility to at least try. Yeah.
And I'm gonna do a shout out. He was the federal administrator at that level of these programs, so I know it's very special
Yeah.
in your
for
heart.
sure.
So, yeah, that's it for my
Okay.
report.
Thank you. It's, and, you know, it's a lot to take in, definitely,
It is.
you know, for everybody. So going on, this month of June, it's July. Number one,
Yes.
congratulations, Rick. I hear the Older Americans Luncheon was very well held and everybody enjoyed themselves, so thank you very much. Yes, so thank you very much. Going on is that Caroline and I have been in touch with various issues, the calendar, the agenda, things to keep us all abreast and things that need to be done. And I'm gonna say it now, but I know it's in the agenda also. It's just being able to get a set sheet.
I'm
No,
sorry, I
okay,
ran
that's
into my
okay.
meeting. and I
Okay,
didn't
that's
even-
okay.
I didn't
So-
even say good morning.
Okay,
to
that's okay.
everybody.
So this is what I'm gonna ask of all PABIA members, okay? Email me, okay? And I will put my email address on the chat, and many of you have it. I would like to know what committee you are going to be serving on, okay? And please provide me with your contact information. If you have a cell phone, you have a home phone, please put both numbers down. Because sometimes we've tried to call people and we can't get through. So please, if you can do that for us, it's greatly appreciated. And this will help us build out, number one, the directory, number two, the committee assignments for everybody for this next fiscal year.
Actually, go before the
And-
end of the meeting if you want. We
Okay.
can-
And you know, for the people in the room, we can circulate it here, but for those of you who are via Zoom, please, if you can send me that email, the sooner the better, so that we can let the committee chairs know who is serving on their committee. And I'm making this plea for a recognition and awards. It's not a one-man committee, it's not a 2-3 people committee. There are 15 people on PABIA. I ask some of you, even if you can only join us by Zoom and you cannot join us at the event, please help us because your ideas are really warranted to have a successful event, okay? Turning on now to Rick, our legislative.
Well, I would
chair.
note, so our meetings are always gonna be on Zoom. We usually meet the Thursday before the BIA meeting.
Oh, that's retirement act, recognition and awards.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so recognition and awards meeting. Typically, it's the Thursday, 9 o'clock to 9:30. I try not to go more than a half hour. I would say, though, it's a lot of work putting together what happened. And frankly, all of you that volunteered and all of you that donated and Caroline and Beverly, all the pieces that they helped put together, Sarah writing the RSVP. I mean, it was a lot of work getting everything together. It was a lot of work there pulling it off. And really, everybody that was there, even the county, everybody that was there did something that made it work. And it was magical what happened. And real fast, those that weren't there, the person that was doing the Oli that was filling in showed up, and originally he was just gonna come off the elevator and start doing the Oli. And I noticed he wasn't. So somebody came over, was it you, Leslie? Somebody came over and said he needed to talk to me. It was, yeah. And so I go over and talk to him and he says, my auntie, who's like my mother, passed away yesterday. I wasn't sure I was gonna come here. I'm not sure I can do an Oli, but I felt like I needed to be here. And I said, well, it's just, you don't have to. We've got Lanakila Multipurpose Senior Center. They can go ahead and do the Queen's Prayer. Just be here, you know, with us. You want, you know, have lunch. I can't stay. I'm gonna have to go. Okay, well, Lieutenant Governor's running behind. She was acting governor, and is it the Prime Minister from Taiwan was here, so she was tied up, was gonna call when she left. So I said, she's gonna call and she'll be here in 5 minutes, so you can decide what you wanna do. So she calls, I hang up, he puts his hand on my shoulder and I says, you know, why don't I just send my auntie off? I'll do an Oli that actually sends her to heaven. What do you think? And I said, you are with the right group and that would be perfect, right? And so you were there, that were there as soon as Lieutenant Governor, actually what, we had a long delay because she kept doing pictures.
Yeah.
Finally had to have her I had to have my friend Greg say, stop. And we went on, but we, not only did we go on, we actually finished 15 minutes early. And I would say everybody that spoke, or anybody that's there knows, it was all chicken skins. So it was beautiful. We'll never top that. We'll work on something for next year, you know, and we'll learn from what we did and move forward. So I really could use more volunteers though, because I felt like I was holding a lot of bags this year. Kathy and I used to do it together. Kimberly used to help us quite a bit. So it was the three of us. I really felt like it was a lot me this year. I mean, I had Sarah for almost every single meeting. So we'll Zoom, make it simple. And we'll just slowly walk through what worked and what we want to do next year, and if we want to change anything. So anybody who wants to join can. And I appreciate the help. And then when we get to it, really what really happened beautifully was everybody volunteering to do everything. I never had to worry once. Everybody took on a role and followed it through. So it was, you know, well played all the way through. So thank you. That's that report.
Legislative.
So legislative, I'm just picking up legislative, but I've been vice chair for some time. You all got, Christina sent out beautifully, a list of all of them along with links. So you can actually go and read what actually passed, which I think was just, I mean, really Christina, I mean, I told her earlier, but it's just amazing what she does. So that's legislative. She does a beautiful piece there. We will, when do you think we should start with our first legislative meeting? What do we typically do?
Next month.
You think we should go ahead next month? And so the reason doing that is because if we did want to go meet with anybody, this is the best time to meet with legislators. So already I have Carl Rhodes actually reached out to me, wants to do a reso, combating really. The feds are pulling back on, it's really alarming, on, the safety for human rights. They're actually removing all the human rights stuff worldwide. So he wants to do a reso that I'm gonna work on with him. I'm doing it personally, but I'll bring it up when we actually meet and see if it's something we wanna do. I brought it up with the, I'm a lay associate with the Betswins, with the Buddhist group. They're kind of tied into wanting to help, and the Rotary wants to kind of help. But we might want to be a part of that as well. It's pretty alarming. But then also start talking about what we want to prioritize, homelessness or different things, you know, haven't passed. Naturally, hearing aids. There's a picture in the paper of me talking to Sharon Moriwaki, and I'm not looking very happy because I'm telling her, I'm kind of lost with this hearing aid thing. I think I'm ready to stop. She says, you're not stopping. We're gonna go forward. I had Lieutenant Governor at Older Americans once say the same thing, you know, we gotta keep on that one. So we'll go ahead and meet. So that'll be 9:30. Our next, that's August 1st, I think, is the Friday. So 9:30 here in this room on August 1st, we'll do our first legislative committee meeting, and we'll just wrap our heads around and where we're at and where we want to go forward. Mostly looking at bills that didn't actually pass and what we want to do with that and prioritizing. We can do as many bills as we want, but then how we want to approach that. So that too, that committee, we have a number of people. Barbara will keep doing that and she'll keep coming. She's been chairing it. I'll just pick up the ball and run with it and rely on Christina for everything else. And anybody that wants to join that. And even if you're busy with the other committees, if you have bills that you want to talk about, just get them to us so we can look at that, okay? So I'll leave it there. Yeah. Okay, and then Recognition and awards, yeah, we'll go ahead and start again. I think we'll wait till October. And we'll focus more on legislative stuff, because I'd like to get the legislative stuff kicked off and go meet with legislators and talk about some things and see, get their input also.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, Rick.
Yep.
Okay, Lisa. For Plans and Projects Review Committee.
Oh, shaking her head.
I have
Maybe-
no report. I'd give it to Shelley. She ran the
Okay.
meeting last month.
Okay, Shelly,
Oh, we'll submit our minutes.
okay,
We have more discussion on the template, the reporting template, and, yeah, so.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, okay, unfinished business. Okay, review proposal on homelessness and determine Pavia's role in the proposal. And consideration for an ad hoc committee or PPRC to explore this initiative further. I bring this to you folks because we need guidance. Okay, and as we heard earlier, we know what's going on federally. Is it the intent of this, I mean, does the group want to address this as something to propose to the legislators, legislatively? So Sarah, I'm gonna ask for your input on this,
Yes.
as to what is it though legislative we're going to ask for?
You mean right now?
No, I'm just asking, I'm just
Let me
asking,
just see.
sorry, I'm just asking the question,
Yes.
because if we
Yes.
are,
Yes.
then now is the time that we have to talk to a legislator, tell them exactly what it is we want in the bill,
Mm-hmm,
because their process is, they get the ideas,
right.
they write it down, they send it to the legal department of whichever chamber it is, and they have to go check which law is currently in place, so that we're not contradicting something that's already in place,
Right.
and then it comes back. So you're sitting on legislative, correct?
Yes.
Okay, or I mean, are you?
Yes.
Okay, so my suggestion, if
Yep.
you don't mind, is that write down all the things that you think you would like in this bill
Mhm.
and bring it to the committee next month.
Yeah, August 1st.
And then maybe from there, you folks can bring it to the full Pavia and we can see from there what direction we may go. And I would definitely include Christina in all of this so that she can help guide you a little bit too.
Right.
Okay, because I do know you need to have something as to what is the end result that you want this legislation to do. And I'm gonna also mention, if it is a cost item, you do need to have about how much it's going to cost. And
Every-
where is this breakdown going to go?
Everything costs something.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
or can it piggyback onto another agency that already has something like that, where they may not need another body, or, you know, they can divvy up the work, but if you have some idea as to where this should go, I think that will give us more guidance. Okay, is that all right with you, Caroline?
And in the meantime, there is someone that,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
we're gonna
looking
have-
at that we
right.
could bring in to kind of give us,
A little bit of
educate
background.
us.
Yeah,
On, you know,
right.
what's happening and not,
Yeah, so
that
we
would be-
do have that person, I think we're looking at November,
but there's actually someone else I just met
Okay.
in a meeting a few weeks
Okay,
back.
so anyway, we're gonna look at that because there is something else that we would like to do collaboratively with legislative too, so I need to talk with you
So
about
is
that.
that as an ad hoc committee that whatever comes up or whatever a PPRC is?
But that's our project plans and review. Okay,
Mhm.
so right now, because we don't know what it is, and it's something that, I mean, I'm sorry, you know, it was brought up, and we don't know what the direction is that you really are looking at. We can all say, we all heard this, we all may come up with something different, and it may be nothing that you really wanted.
But we'll start
So
at
we-
legislative committee and then
Mm-hmm.
go
But I
and talk.
think the idea first is that she come up with what she
Yeah.
feels is the reason
Very
why she
good.
brought this up to us, because
Yeah.
Mhm.
if we don't have that, it's kind of hard to go
Right,
any farther.
right.
Yeah, but in the
Right.
meantime, we are gonna get a speaker too.
Good.
I'd be curious too, if there are any bills that have been
Okay.
proposed before that might help.
True, and you know
There
what,
might
I
be
think
stuff on the
if
table.
you folks go back to, one good help is PAR. The
Yeah.
Public
Oh,
Address reference, the Public Access Reference Bureau. If you tell them, if you ask them specific questions, they will look it up for you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's a good
use,
idea.
definitely use the public access room. Okay, thank you, thank you.
You're
Okay,
familiar with that, right? Yeah.
okay. Going on, adoption of the proposed calendar for 2025-2026. That was in your packet that you received. So this I do need a motion for.
I'll motion.
Okay, Rick moves for the adoption of the proposed calendar for 2025-2026. I need a second. Okay, thank you, Shelley. Okay, discussion.
What's the asterisk?
Okay, what's the asterisk? The first one, September 10th, the board has already approved that change of date, okay? January 2nd. January 1st is a Thursday. January 2nd is a Friday. The first Friday, exactly. It is the first Friday of the month. And with that, I leave it open to discussion to all of you.
I propose we move to the next Friday.
The next Friday would be January 9th, if I'm not mistaken.
It just feels like a lot of our meetings are getting bumped to the second Friday.
Oh, is that hard?
I have a personal conflict. And it's not, because we have the monthly ship meeting on second Fridays. So I find myself having to skip that meeting. So that's just me though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know staffing wise, there.
Is there a problem with the staffing with the ERP?
Oh, you mean for the first Friday?
The day after.
Not that I
New
know
Year's
of
Day.
right now, there could be, but I think we can plan and ensure that we have staff available for the second.
Okay, so
So it is January 9th.
it is January 9th, okay, but there's no motion about that, so we're discussing.
Yep.
Okay, January 2nd, anybody on Zoom?
Second or ninth?
No, right now it's only the second, unless you're going to make a motion to add,
Oh,
okay? So,
As far as staff, the first is the holiday. the
Yeah,
second
oh
is the
yeah.
Workday.
first is.
the first
The
is,
first will be the holiday,
And the
we gotta
second
come
will be
back to
a
the
they have to work for
office.
them on the
So
second,
you're here anyway,
well, it all depends. Some people may take the day off.
of course.
We can plan accordingly.
Yeah, but we can plan accordingly, okay?
Okay.
But, the only thing is, okay,
Is there a
add,
mandate that we have to meet every month?
Okay,
Yes,
right
there is.
now, we have
It
to
does.
meet 12 times
it,
a
it
year.
doesn't say, it does say the first Friday of the month. But with the agreement of the board to change the meeting date, it can be changed, as long as we make the 12 in the year. Okay, and it's not something that we would do every time to change the meeting dates. It's just that July 4th was a holiday, okay? January 2nd, it's the day after New Year's, and I'm just thinking of everybody else, for me, I mean, so that's why I bring it up to you folks, for you folks to decide. I hear Shelley saying that, what about January 9th? So I looked at the people on screen, what about January 9th? Instead of January 2nd?
It'd have to be a Friday.
No,
That's true.
no, it doesn't have to be a Friday.
Good one, Steve.
Yep, Steve, it doesn't have to be a Friday, so, you could do January 8th, which is a Thursday.
Raylene said she goes for the ninth.
Okay. Raylene says she's okay with the 9th.
What about flight patterns?
Yeah.
Because the people that, like, we've been having discussion, right, because if she's showing up, a lot of people are flying in. I mean,
So the following week, I will say would be better, because
Yeah.
definitely it's a holiday weekend. I mean, I'm sorry, it's
Oh,
a
that's
holiday
travel.
weekend and people
That's a
are
travel.
traveling going both. I mean, and school is probably gonna start that following week, so definitely you have people traveling back and forth. I mean, not only inter-island, but, okay, so,
National, international.
so, Miss, Ogata, we gotta, I thought,
I move to amend the schedule to change January 2nd to January 9th. Oh,
On Friday or Thursday, are we combining ideas? Sorry, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I'm not.
the
on
question,
the pattern. Yeah.
I think that's one
Okay.
motion, right?
one motion would be the 9th,
Oh, okay.
okay? And then, okay. I gotta think about this. Okay, the main motion is still January 2nd, okay?
Yeah.
Second, somebody has to second Shelley's motion to change to January 9th.
I'll second that.
Okay, Rick, okay? I gotta put that down, so. Miss Josephine might ask me. Okay,
wait, can we pass it now?
okay, wait now, hang on. The
Yeah.
motion
The
before
motion
us,
will be concrete if we vote today.
no, wait,
Bill.
Bill, let me just, okay, because we gotta discuss it now. Shelley made a motion to change the meeting date from the 2nd through the 9th of January, okay? That's the motion before us. Now it is up for discussion. So discussion to change it to January 9th.
So, generally, there's a Kapuna caucus that follows the PABIA meeting. Is that going to be impacted? I'm going to guess that the Kapuna caucus will not want to meet on the 2nd, but I don't know that for sure.
You know what? I can only talk about us and I
Yes.
cannot talk about Kapuna caucus.
Yes.
So at this point, I would say I do not know.
And they're only Zoom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they only-
Kapuna caucus is only by Zoom,
Yeah.
thank you. So even if we weren't here on the 2nd, we could still do it via our Zoom at home on the 2nd. Okay, Bill, you have a question?
Yes, as a reward to the Otter Island people who are always very loyal here every month. Today, all four of us are here, and because of the horrible New Year's traveling situation, I think the 9th would be a very nice way to reward especially the Otter Island people who are always here on the first Friday.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion?
What's
I don't
cookies you
see
here,
any.
Patrick?
I mean, I'm looking over there to see if any hands are up, so, okay? Okay, the motion is to change the meeting date of January 2nd to January 9th, 2026. That's the motion that we're voting on right now, okay? All those in favor of changing the January 2nd meeting date to January 9th, raise your hands. Only so many over here. I see only 1, 2, 3. I got up there. Okay, okay. Okay, thank you. Majority has it. You have changed the meeting date from January 2nd to January 9th. Now, the next thing, there is no date there for the Older American Month celebration. Okay, so I do not know, and I think we would need to have our recognitions and awards committee come back to us for that date at a later time. Okay, so now before you is the main motion. And the main motion is to adopt the 2025-2026 meeting dates. And this now includes January 9th, 2026, and not January 2nd. Okay? Any discussion on the main motion now? No? Okay, all those in favor of adopting the 2025-2026 agenda, meeting dates as amended, okay, raise your hands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, thank you. You have adopted the 2025-2026 meeting dates, and this will be changed and sent to you, okay? And you know, just to be formal, that's why I did this here. The adoption of committee chairs for 2025-2026. First of all, I'd like to thank all of our previous chairs for serving with us as chairs. It's a hard job, and sometimes it's not a very rewarding job Cause everybody looks at you and says, okay, what are we gonna do? Okay, and you look back at everybody and say, well, what should we do? So I thank them all for the coming year. For plans and projects review committee, Lisa Spencer has agreed to serve as chair. We looked at who we could choose amongst our committees there. And Mr. Tabor has agreed to serve both as legislative and recognition and awards committee chairs. And though Rick wears 2 hats, actually he wears 3 hats because he is also the second vice chair. He is going to need everybody's support. So
Absolutely.
please that. So the motion before you is the adoption of the committee chairs for 2025, 2026. So I need a motion for that. Okay. Leslie moves it. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Sarah seconds. Discussion? Okay. All those in favor of the appointees of the committee chairs, please raise your hands. You can vote.
I can vote.
Yeah, you can vote. Okay, thank you. Okay. It has been adopted. Okay, next one is committee assignments. There is a list going around here for those who have put, who are here. Those of you who are on Zoom, please make sure to put down what committee assignment you want, not just the address information, but we do need the committee assignment also. Okay, and once we get that, we will be sending it out to everybody just to be sure. Okay? Public testimony, Director, do you see anybody here for public testimony?
Let me just double check.
What are you looking for?
Public
Public
testimony
testimony.
from the public?
No.
No. Okay, so there are none. PABIA reports. Is there anybody on the PABIA committee who would like to give a report? Okay, suggestion for future meetings, if there is a topic that you would like to bring up, please let us know so that we can put it on the agenda. Okay, ex officio members. Kathy, is Kathy here? I don't see her. I didn't see Kathy. Okay, Christy, I didn't see either.
No,
No, I didn't see Christy.
Paula
Paul is here.
and Alan's here.
Yeah, Paula and Alan's here. Okay, Paula, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I really have nothing else to add other than what was in the written summary of our report, which is really just about OCA looking at the adult daycare regulations and looking to make some changes to make it a little bit easier for providers, mostly having to do with using volunteers and counting them towards their staff to participant ratio, and then also looking at the requirements as they're currently written for square footage to make it a little less difficult for some providers. So we're looking at those 2 items and then, giving the whole section of the HAR for adult daycare centers an overhaul to see if there's anything else we need to change.
Thank you, Paula.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
on to Alan. Alan, it's so nice to see you. We were worried about you. I definitely was worried about you.
Well, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I have a terrible microphone speaker system here. Yeah, I managed to go out sick on the last 2 first Fridays, and I frankly am out again today. But I'm working from home, and I promised people that I would show up today. I have 3 major areas that I wanted to talk about. 2 relate to food security, and the 3rd relates to nonprofits that I think will be of interest to you. All are based on, of course, the Office of Community Services in DLIR where I work. The first is sort of the ordinary second year second grant of the USDA grant for the Senior Farmers Market Program. It's all of about $23,000, which is horrible. But that's pretty much to be expected at this point The Congress is in no mood to enlarge the appropriations for food security. Period. The end. So even though the so-called Farm Bill, the bad news is the Farm Bill is still there. The good news is it's still there. The dollar amounts do not change. And of course, with inflation, that is really bad news. And with the Senior Farmers Market Program, where we deal with local farmers who are seriously affected by inflation here in Hawaii, that means that the $50 worth of coupons that an individual person gets, if the person is lucky enough to participate in the program, does not go anywhere near as far as it used to. You're lucky to basically get 3 or 4 bags of eggplant and squash and stuff like that in the program. Now I can give you some information. The Big Island people, HCEOC, had, when last heard from, about 200 participant openings still available. So anybody who's on Big Island who wants to have their people participate should contact HCEOC. MEO has about 50 additional openings that we are creating. They have bumped up to their limit, but with the second grant coming through in the next month, they should have openings for all of about 50. That's it. Kauai has maybe about 30. Oahu has been oversubscribed since March. Basically over 1,000 people on the wait list. We will be able, because of some leftover ARPA money, to help about 150 of them. And that's about it. So, you know, and there will be some additional USDA grant money available for Oahu, but people who aren't already high on the wait list aren't going to get anything. So the word here is, if you are in a program that are helping seniors apply for Senior Farmers Market, which is a seasonal program where the actual purchasing of produce starts in April and goes through to the end of October, and the opportunity to apply starts in March. The word to the wise is definitely apply as early as possible in March. Don't wait, because I can fully expect that next year it's going to be at least as bad as this year has been in terms of the amount of grant money we're going to get. Now for some much better news. Those of you who follow the bills on the legislature website can go take a look at House Bill 428. And you will look there and you'll see it seems to have died in conference. And in a sense, it did. But it, it got resurrected. What happened is this. This was something that had strong support in both houses, and the Senate companion also sailed into conference, just as the House bill did, with huge support. And what the bill basically did was provide, in the usual legislative fashion, a blank dollar amount for farms to families via food banks funding, and to be administered by the State Department of Agriculture. And the two bills got to conference, and I think, and I haven't got this figured out yet, I've had a call in for 2 days now with Bill Kuntzman, the deputy director of our department, to get some details on this. The two bills disappeared at conference, and the essence of the bills reappeared as a one-time appropriation to OCS in the Department of Labor. Gone went Department of Agriculture. And I know enough about the history of this situation to be able to give you some rather educated guesses. And I think it's probably the finance chair, the Ways and Means chair in the Senate, who said, shall we say, Department of Agriculture does not have a history of administering this kind of food sustainability program, but those folks over in the Department of Labor do it all the time. So let's just take these two bills and take out the section that relates to the Department of Agriculture shall administer these programs, and plug it into the appropriation for Office of Community Services. And they also gave us a dollar figure of $500,000. So I'm hopeful that I can report to you at the next time that we are going to be going ahead and working in one way or another with food banks to do this. It'll be sort of like Senior Farmers Market, but not just for seniors. It's going to be families of all with members of all ages, and but it's going to be for once not canned food or equivalent so-called food from the mainland. It's going to be local produce from Hawaii farms. And we're going to do our best to administer it effectively. It's a 1-year, one-time grant of $500,000. We've got to shave off probably $75,000 to give about 15% admin money to the food banks for their work, and a little tiny bit for ourselves to administer the program. But I'm rather optimistic that we finally have something that will substitute for the shortfall in the senior farmers market that is, of course, federally financed. So that's the second area that I wanted to talk about. The third area that I can only speak very vaguely about is a bill that apparently is going to be approved by the governor, really, for a $50 million appropriation for state nonprofits that are going to be able to somehow prove via some administrative process that's going to be administered by Aloha United Way, that but for the Trump administration's changes of various policies, they would have been getting federal grants at various dollar levels. And, you know, to me, it seems very, very vague, very open-ended. It's not clear exactly how once a nonprofit can prove somehow that it would have gotten, say, $500,000 from a given federal agency. Now what? What are they going to do? Does it become like a Chapter 42F grant where they then have to go back to Aloha United Way or to us at OCS to provide a proposal for how to spend that kind of money? It's all very, very vague. And I hope that next month I'll be able to give you all a much better explanation of how it's going to work and what our role at OCS is going to be in this $50 million appropriation. And I would suggest that to the extent that you are working with nonprofits that might be able to benefit from this, and I'm sorry, I do not have a House bill or Senate bill or act number to key you into at this point, that you get started on seeing how you might be able to get your respective nonprofits to get in line to try to make a claim on this money. It's $50 million. This was a substitute for much, but not all of the Chapter 42F grants that the legislature made this year. So there's some potential big money out there, and I hope your various nonprofits will have a chance to at least give it a try. So those are the three areas that I wanted to report to you all. Any
Thank you,
questions?
Alan.
I'll be happy
Any
to
questions?
try to answer.
Any questions? No?
If AUW is the distributing entity, they're only on Oahu. Does that mean only Oahu nonprofits are able to apply?
I would surely hope that that is not the case. As I say, I have not read the bill, and I don't know any of the mechanics of how the bill is going to work. So I will need to get back to you as soon as I can with some more information about how it might work.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Okay, thank you, and stay well. Okay.
I will try.
Take
We'll try.
care.
Okay,
Agency
thanks.
reports, thank you. City and County of Honolulu, Derek?
Stand by what we had in our monthly report, outside of maybe just a feel-good story. Lori Kaikina, who's the art director for the city, our staff helped her connect to some caregiver services. And she was really grateful, obviously, and surprised how much supports that we offer to caregivers. So in that inspired her to start organizing a support group for heart employees. So we're trying to work with her now, and it's a cool concept that we embed caregiver support into the work setting itself. So yeah,
That's
looking
neat.
forward. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, congratulations. Very good. Hawaii County, Aaron?
So we stand by what we have provided, but just a few additions. So one, being with our case that we put in there, basically a kupuna, fell for a scam. Lost about $50,000 process. Basically came to ADRC with pleas for help. And had about like $50, $200 left in his bank account. So ADRC, provided all of the resources and whatnot, to this man, so that his house does not go into foreclosure. But from this, being that in Hawaii County, we work in pods, able to take this situation, take it to our IT department to somehow to create a program working with IT and R&D, our research and development, to do like a kupuna class and kupuna resources to better, educate them. Like they know that it's there, but to better educate them regarding this kind of situation. And then also link it to our elderly abuse funding, where they purchased a whole bunch of like police gadgets, RFID, blocking, all that kind of stuff, right? To kind of go along with that as well, to pass out to the group. So kind of like an interdepartmental, working together, share resources. Another thing is, we are also looking at possibly doing immunizations across our senior facilities per se. It's a work in progress. It's very, very new idea, especially because our immunization rates are really down statewide. So we're trying to put that out there, and especially because USAG has sent out an email pushing vaccinations as well. This upcoming flu season, there will be a new COVID vaccination coming up in fall. That's just my farm. But there'll be a new one coming up in the fall. And then last thing is, I think today is probably my last meeting with you guys, since we did offer a new exec. So she just accepted, so she'll be here with you guys probably next month. Probably. She's supposed to start on August 1st, so depending when the next meeting is.
August 1st.
August 1st.
So maybe you should come and shadow
maybe I'll
with her.
come with her.
Yeah, I think you should.
But she's very she's very young, she's vibrant, she is a clinical psychologist, doctor of clinical psychology, also has a master's in gerontology.
Share with us, not yet.
Oh, I have, because she's accepted.
Oh, she has accepted.
Yeah, her name is Dr. Kau'i Fuku.
Oh, very good. Local girl.
Local girl from Big Island of Hilo.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations. I'm glad that you spoke about somebody. But that's okay. You got somebody. So thank you. Yeah, we look forward to meeting with her. Okay.
No, she's from outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Kauai Agency on Elderly Affairs, Emily.
I guess we put everything in our report, but, just like Derek, I try to be in touch with the INR staff, which is our boots on the ground. And a couple stories, well, one of the stories that I've recently heard is one of our consumers that has been putting off postponing a medical treatment. Finally, they have no support on island, no family, no friends, was able to get to her appointment after a year. Because we were able to assist her with that. So then that was a success story. Another story also, or more boots on the ground, sir, I know you have asked for that before, you just kind of want to keep in touch with what Kupuna are doing. Recently, we were able to help one of our recent homeless person get a house, and so transition to that had been just a long time coming. This a lot of complications just getting that process going. But he's been having issues with his staff, or should I say his the manager of the property manager, who everybody has problems on the island. And so he's just not available, having a hard time getting in touch, responding back, and so he's legally contract with the Legal Aid Society, so they've been able to help him feel confident in this guy who everybody has issues with. Kind of understand what his rights are, and then I'm not sure, it's still in process right now, but basically the point is that because everybody has the same difficulties, is going to maybe help a whole bunch of people, not just himself, for this specific, because Kauai is not huge, and so a lot of people have problems with a certain property manager. So hopefully his case will go forward with the help of our office through legal aid to help him with the issue that he's experiencing. So that was a success. So we're not supposed to talk about anything that happened in the report, right? That's the
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if you added this in your report, okay, but Kauai had a symposium, their legal,
Yeah.
okay, but that was in the report, but what was shared, I can't recall if it was shared within our group that we were talking about, or Christine may have talked about it, but the question came about homelessness. And a success story was that through the process, you get the highs and the lows, you get all excited because you think you're gonna get the housing and all of a sudden it goes down. But she said that week, 3 in your office got housing for their clientele. And that was a real success, that each of them in different areas, they got housing for them. So I thought that was something really good. I mean, within that 1 week's time, that 3 should be able to get housing. I mean, it's a lot. It's inspiring to hear that kind of stories, and know how difficult it is for them to get senior housing. Yeah. Okay. Maui County did send a written report, and unfortunately, Rowena had to leave, but she did say, and she wanted to share this to everybody, the awareness of a recent contractor scams affecting our seniors. They've teamed up with the members of our elder justice team, the MPD prosecutor's office, and increasing community outreach and education in the community. I think as many counties start getting more elder law groups together as a collaborative grouping there, contracting one, they say, is one that's on the uprise, okay? And the other thing that was talked about, okay, I just need to add that to what Arona was saying here, is cryptocurrency. They say cryptocurrency is another one that scammers are hitting seniors with. And one thing that was pointed out to us as a help is, if you happen to see on Kauai at our 2 Safeways, they do have a cryptocurrency machine. And it's this golden coin or something thing. And the suggestion was, if you happen to see a senior there who looks lost a little bit, and somebody standing around them who, to tell the person, you know what, if you need help, come, we'll help you. Or, just so that the person doesn't feel lost. Sometimes she says, for people, it's hard to do that because you're a stranger. But sometimes you can tell when somebody is they're not normal to be in front of this machine kind of stuff, especially the elderly. Yeah. But I thank all of the execs for the jobs that you folks are doing. The communities would be very lost without you folks. And I know you folks are doing the best you can. And the apprehension that everybody feels with what is coming down the line. I mean, I think all of us realize that it's not going to be easy to conduct all of the programs we have, not knowing what kind of funding we're going to have. Yeah. Going on, our Kupuna Caucus is today at 2:00 via Zoom. Next month's meeting will be at August 1st at 12 noon here. Committee meetings will be at their regular time of 9:30, and RAC is on vacation until October. Okay.
Can I just,
Is that Carolyn?
sorry, can I just read Audrey's?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Her note in the chat. One of AARP's priority bills in 2026 is consumer protection against cryptocurrency scams. Thanks, Audrey.
Thanks, Audrey. Yeah, okay, but we thank you all very much. Have a safe weekend. And with that, it is 1:16. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. And Josephine, can you please stop the recording?